apparently all you guys care about is the gold price, and you all want to hear what Jeremy Gray is saying, and so I'll try not to have my feelings hurt. And I called up Jeremy, and he's agreed to drop by and give us his latest view on the gold price as we're sitting here knocking on the door of $5,000 an ounce, and everyone wants to know, where do we go from here? Is it over? Can it go higher? Jeremy, welcome to YWR.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, no, we're going a lot higher this year. We should hit 7,000 by Christmas of 26. Remember, when we talked back in September 24, we said 4,500 by Christmas 25. We missed that by about $40 an ounce. And we're calling for 5,500 by Chinese New Year, which February the 17th of this year. So, yeah, the trade is very lonely still. There's almost no one in the trade. And it's the pain trade. It's going to go up a lot more. And I just don't feel any euphoria. I don't feel any excitement. Apart from us old hacks in the industry, there's very little high-fiving. This is a very exciting. This could actually be bigger this year than last year, which would be pretty crazy.
Yes. And if I try and go over what I'm seeing, you don't see gold holdings in the hedge funds. CFT futures positioning is high, 60%. It's high, but it's not extreme. ETF flows have been picking up, and they're getting higher, but they're not. It's not extreme. It's not bubbly. And then the other thing I was saying to you earlier is, I'm amazed that the the market cap of the Bitcoin ETF is still greater than the GLD, which
That's crazy.
it does seem nuts, right?
That's shocking, isn't it, Eric? It's shocking that the Bitcoiners are still there. Just, I got to say, they never give up, but that's really noble of them. And, we went into this year where the Bitcoiners said, this is our year. It ran up to 94,000 and just ran out of steam. And we took over again. And I think it's going to be the same this year. The Bitcoiners, probably by the end of this year, you see Bitcoin at 70 or 60,000 and gold at 7,000.
And if I say another just angle to this is, I think for the hedge funds and asset managers, they prefer, this is kind of an uncomfortable trade. What they really want to talk about is AI, and I see that, and it's all about tech. And I think talking about the pain trade, if AI starts to be soggy again and gold just keeps powering up, that could be the real. That's why, I mean, that's an interesting point of view, that what if this year is even more astounding than last year? Because I think as long as tech is working, most funds prefer to stay in tech and just talk about that, fits their investment cases, rather than getting into the mining sector, which they're always very disparaging of. And so this will be the pain trade. If AI is down or weak and gold keeps pounding ahead, and you were saying it, you said everyone kind of thought, oh, that was a great year, 2025. Wow, surprising. How much were those gold miners up? Like those gold funds?
There's about 6 gold funds in the market, which is crazy in itself. There should, I reckon, by the peak there'll be 600 gold funds, but that's a couple of years away. Jimmy Luke was up 200% for Schroders. His fund grew from $500 million to $2 billion. Angelos Damascus up 212%. Every Hambro at BlackRock, I think, up 160. None of them made the front pages of the newspapers. And the feedback I got from one or two of them is they actually are getting redemptions. Now, that is not a sign of a toppy market. The market tops when mums and dads and everyone just piles in and they're getting record inflows. So will they do 200% this year? Maybe not, because some of the stocks were pretty low bases, but I think they can easily do 100%. And just another sign, okay? It's another sign that, and let's not worry too much about the signs. Let's also go back and think about the fundamentals. The short base, if you believe the conspiracy theories, is a short base in gold is 2 to 3 years of mine supply. There's almost no new mine supply coming on. You and I talked about it for years when we were building our portfolio of gold mines. It was very hard to find any money for love or money. And now there's no supply, and demand out of China, I think, is probably 10 times what we're being told by the Chinese officials. So I think they're probably buying nearly all of the industry's production this year. And yet, you know, the numbers are nothing like that when you read the World Gold Council, where they think China's still a very, you know, just a growing but nothing significant market. So, yeah, it's going to get really exciting. And let's see if we hit 5,500 by Chinese New Year, maybe have a little bit of a consolidation, and then we power off to 7,000.
Yeah, and you know, the little part of the story that we haven't really heard yet, and I don't know if this is like imagination or not, but we haven't had that you can't get gold. You know, we kind of you know, you could read in the paper that the LME might be out of it, but you haven't had that. We've always talked about that. What if there's a situation where you actually can't get physical control of gold? And I don't know. I'm just wondering if this is the time that we get that, and that's where it really kind of gets things going.
Yeah, and also remember we have Tether in the background. Every week, Tether has officially said they're buying 3 tons of gold. That's 90,000 ounces of gold a week, or every month, 360,000 ounces. Now, I don't think there are even 20 mines in the world that do 360,000 ounces a year, let alone in a month. So all of these new buyers are here. We just had Mineko 64, who's a wonderful gentleman, join our board of Chancery Royalty. Anyone follows Mineko 64, he was telling me only yesterday that buyers of silver, the gold coin, the silver buyers, the coin dealers in London or in Europe, are now offering a price above the spot price just to get the silver back into their vaults to then sell it for a big premium to the customers. So I think I heard also that China's now, if you try and buy silver on the market in China now, it's trading at $11 premium to the price that we have here in New York, for example. So the physical market is taking over the paper market. The paper market has basically dictated the price for 40 years, and now the physical market's driving everything in a world where there's no supply. So it really could be amazing year ahead.
So, Jeremy, you mentioned Tether buying stakes in all the gold royalty companies, which is such an interesting. I think this is one of the biggest stories. The tokenization, like they were the biggest tokenizers of the U.S. dollar, became the biggest stable coin in the world, and to have them making such an outside play, outside of crypto, outside of everything, to go in and buy physical gold, like gold royalty companies, to lock down physical supply coming out of these mines, is a highly interesting move. And it tells you someone smart there has got a very big view on where this is going. And the fact that they're doing this now, that they must think this is still going a lot higher, and this is still early in the game.
Yeah, they really got a long view on this. They just bought a bigger stake in Metala only last week. I'm waiting for their phone call because we're going to be one of the biggest medium tier players in the industry. We're private right now, but I guarantee you the minute we list Chancery Royalty, either they or others in the industry will come and try and take us out because we have such a big portfolio of long life royalties. So, you know, the whole space is going to become a massive consolidation play. It makes you wonder, when do they go after Franco-Nevada? Like that's
that's big. That's too big, right?
Oh, I don't know. I think they can afford it. And, you know, that's a big one. That does 400,000 gold equivalent ounces, Franco. So that's the big daddy if you take that out. But maybe they consolidate first. You know, they've got stakes in Elemental, in Gold Royalty, in Versamet, in Gold Road. So, no, not Gold Road, Metala. So maybe they consolidate our space and then they will then go after Franco-Nevada.
So what are you guys up? You did, I saw the news. I think you did the deal in Ethiopia. You did the deal with Liva. What is Chancery up to now in terms of, like, what have you guys contracted?
We're basically just closing off this $2 round at the moment. It's the response. I tell you, Eric, it's been unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this. And we basically have 3 producing royalties, which are from Pilar Gold, our mine in Brazil. We bought the Liva royalty from a third party just before Christmas. These are life of mine royalties that will run for 30, 40 years. We then bought the silver royalty from Gold Road in Arizona. And of course, Kefi, we just did that deal before Christmas in Ethiopia. We're heading down to Ethiopia in 3 weeks to meet the president of Ethiopia. Maneko 64 is coming with us. And then we'd love to do one more deal, which would be Tucano, which is our other fourth gold company. We roll that in. We're bigger than Versamet. We're bigger than Elemental. We're going to be a $1.5 billion company. And the current round for this is only 64 million. So, yeah, so this is kind of like a last orders a sort of ring around what we're doing for all of our clients, that if they want to get involved at this 64 million pre-money valuation, you best let us know in the next couple of days. We've never seen a response. And I think we might actually get 500 new shareholders on the register on Chancery Royalty, which is just crazy, right? That's an astounding number for a private company.
Jeremy, it's yeah, you always do these things at amazing valuations, and leave a lot of upside for everyone.
Do you remember, Eric? You remember we were talking about Tucano, you to your listeners, and I think we did a video and we were offering Tucano stock at 50 cents. Well, Tucano is now just about to go in production, 150,000 ounces. Jeffries in New York's got the mandate to list. I think it comes out at $7. I think it's a 14x for anyone who backed us on that one. Live Gold.
What was the price originally?
We did around at 50 cents and at 70 cents, and I think it's going to come out at $7.
Oh my!
To give you perspective, and a number of your guys backed us on that. We did live at 50 cents and at 80 cents. I think it will list next $3 to $4 at least and go to $10. So, you know, Pilar's going to come out later this year. It's probably going to come out at $2 a share. I see Pilar's going to be in amazing shape. Gold Road, you showed your listeners at 50 cents. We're listing that next month in Norway in the Oslo Bourse. I think will come out $6, so it's a 12x. So these are real numbers that we're delivering returns to our shareholders, and it's honestly it's obviously driven a lot by the gold price, but also now when a price goes up, everything's possible in terms of funding. Everything speeds up in terms of production, and then the royalties feed into this beautiful Chancery royalty, and then the whole thing just becomes a beautiful, well-oiled machine. So yeah,
I think we're supposed to say something like these are not forecasted returns, and the gold price can go down, and all those types of things.
Yeah.
But you're right. What I've noted, and I have noticed that now that the gold market is cooking, financing, all this stuff, production, I've just noticed like the newsletters and updates you've been sending out about Tucano. I'm like, whoa, people have got their foot on the gas to get the gold out of the ground like never before.
Oh my God, yeah, it's amazing. Like Pilar, you know, we had tough times with Pilar 2 years ago. We nearly lost that, and you know, we nearly lost everything because the market was so tough. But Pilar now we have 3 very large groups wanting to back us on debt financing. I'm talking serious numbers that will just take this to 80,000 ounces a year. I mean, a year and a half ago, I couldn't get, and you know, it's hard to get a check for $10,000. But now that's what happens in the market. Things change. You know, look at stocks at the moment. They just they wake up suddenly. Look at Highcroft. I had lunch with Highcroft. It's a big silver explorer in Nevada. Lovely lady.
I know exactly where Highcroft is. It's actually not too far from where they do Burning Man in the Black Rock Desert. But anyways, yeah.
Lunch with her. I'm trying to remember her name. I know BlackRock and Eric Sprott took most of the placing at like $4 with a full warrant. I think it was at $5. The stock's at like 30, and that was 4 months ago. You know, there's a lot of these stories. Sarabi Gold was my number 1 pick 2 years ago, and it's gone from 20p to £3.60. It's what is that, 18x? We're now saying Kefi Gold, which is our partner in Ethiopia, could be the best performing gold company on the London Stock Exchange this year. I bet you not a single fund manager in London has ever heard about it.
Is Kefi on the London Stock Exchange?
Yeah, Kefi Gold and Copper's look at 130 million quid market cap. It's $1 billion. It should be $1 billion market cap. It's the best undeveloped gold mine in Africa. And you know, you remember those days you and I used to go to Africa together. It's been 16 years since we were in the DRC. But now's the time to get back, and that's why Chancery is going back to Africa. And the Ethiopian transaction with Kefi is a transformational deal for us. So, yeah, so watch out for Kefi. Some of these names, they just take off. But no one's like ringing me from this. It's not like the taxi drivers talking about this. That's still ages away. And I would say 1% of the fund management community is in the trade. if that. 1% of their books in gold, if that.
Yeah, I think I'm not a good. I think the YWR readers are way more in the trade. So so I don't. I think we're not a good sample size. But when I look at the gold hedge fund holdings, it's not. You're right. There's very little gold. Although I want to see the latest numbers. But the last time I did it, no. It's just they're still in the tech stuff and.
Yeah, I do watch that all-in-one channel, which has got a huge following, all-in-one, and I love hearing them how they're picking their best picks, and they're all in tech, right? And meanwhile, our little stocks are going up 10x, and they're sort of flat on the year, So this is an amazing trade, and I wouldn't wait for a pullback. Everyone's going, "Oh, I can't buy it now. Look, the damn thing's gone up." That's always the pain trade when it just keeps grinding up and up and up. And I see 5,500 in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone is calling for these pullbacks, these wave 4 and these technical analysts. And I think that is the what's catching people off guards is that it has not been pulling back and it's just powering up every night.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I appreciate it. I know you're busy. Thank you for making time today. And I just had to call you because that's all anyone wants to talk about. And they all wanted to get an update on what you were thinking here. And so and it's good stuff. And I'll put a link to your to the Chancery project you're working on too.
Thank you so much, Eric. You're the best.
Okay. Thank you, Jeremy.